Hi guys, hi. So I've got this set up a little bit different. Good to see you guys when you're coming in. Whatever this is, let's take a look. Hopefully this has a little bit more wiggle room. Let's see if we've got this. There we go. I hope I got it for you. All right. Rocking and rolling. Hey, good morning, Kim. How you doing? Good morning, Lenny. How are ya? Hi, Tess. Hi, Amy. How's everybody doing? So I'm having a good day today, kind of just chilling and doing tarot, and maybe I'll see Phil for dinner tonight. It might be that he's in town. Fingers crossed on that. That would be great if he was, but we'll see what's going on. So this is the part of the show that you guys know. If you want to get a free quick micro read, then go ahead and ask a question. Otherwise, get on the paid list and we'll get really nosy. Where did I put my prices on that? Oh, let me show you. 1 second. I've got a little bit of a cart. I don't know if you can, well, I used to just slam this thing off, but see the cart? Yeah, that's full of cards and whatnot. So that's where I've got the price list, and I'll get that. Good morning, Chad. Good morning. How you doing? Let me move this stuff out of the way, and we'll rock and roll. All right. So, are you moving soon for Firefly Danny? That could be exciting. Let's take a look at the Pope Girls, and we'll see. We'll put this to the side, too. You guys know how I like to do. It's a little bit weird down here, I gotta tell you. It's cooler down here, but it's like, it's not tremendously hot upstairs, but we'll see how it's going. I kind of miss my upstairs zone. Maybe I'll just pay higher air conditioning bills. Who knows, we'll see. Firefly Danny, are you gonna be moving soon? Let's take a peek. There's a gift coming in, but it's not happening soon. It feels like you're staying put for a while, well seated. There's a gift and a reward for the waiting, and then you choose the path. Then you choose the path later. It doesn't feel like it's going to be soon. In fact, it might be that you have far more information, and I'm getting the 6 in the Lover's card as a weeks marker. I don't know why. So it might be that 6 weeks from now, you're better equipped to ask a question or things start moving for you so that that's a little bit more possible. So that's what I'm getting on that. But soon, not this week, not next week, not soon. That's what I'm getting. Hey there, Darcy. Hey, good to see you. Good to see you, Amy. Will co-parenting get better between you and your ex-husband? Let's take a look. Let's put these down for a minute. We'll look in the Dark Mansion, one of my favorite decks. Will the co-parenting get a little bit better? Let's take a peek. Huh. We've got the 3 of Wands, the Sun, and the Moon card. It's going to be a little bit topsy-turvy. You're going to be waiting and waiting for whatever it is your plans are, waiting for things to come in. I would say keep your documents in order, just as a matter of course, a matter of my own bossiness. But the Sun shows more illumination, more abundance, but the Moon shows a little bit of secrecy and confusion. So it just definitely feels like you guys are going to happen to do things in an opposite manner. I want one more card for clarification. I think it'll get better because you're going to learn how to maneuver better. I don't think it's going to get better because your person's going to get a whole lot more cooperative is what I can say. Yeah, he's not going to get more cooperative, but you're going to learn when to battle for and when to battle for. So it'll get better by that virtue, but it's going to take a little while. And in 3 months, I think you're going to have a pattern. So it might be it's going to take a little bit of experience, like, you know, the parenting exchange and custody drop-off and all that shit to go down a few different times before you realize, okay, this is what I need to do to outmaneuver this dude. But that's what I'm getting. So, Dina, will your upcoming music release be successful? That's a great question. Let's look at that. Let's look at that. Let's get a different deck. I want to go to the Tarot of the Unfolding Path for that one. We'll take a shuffle on that. Will the music release be successful? Good on you for releasing something. It's a step of bravery to do anything that's a creative effort and to share that with the world. So good on you. All right. It's going to take a little while. I think it will be successful down the track. What we're seeing here is the 4 of Coins. This is something holding back, holding back, holding back. I don't think it's going to be out of the gate like a crazy one-hit wonder type of thing, but it's holding back a little bit, and then the fruits of labor come in later. This is going to take a little bit of time. Then there's clarity on this. There will be clarity on who's really hitting it, who's loving it, and who's not. Will it be successful? Aces are always yes to me, but this is showing me there's a little bit of disappointment in how long it takes to catch fire. So that's what I'm getting, a little bit of holding on for that. So that's what I've got. Okay, I'm gonna do my commercial real quick, show you what's going on. Please tell Kim what kind of read that you're getting or you're wanting. I'm trying to record the show today and see what's going on, but feel free to screen record anything in case I get technical errors on my end. So this is what we're doing. This is the reads I offer. I do the blind for 20. That's where you get the read you need. You don't ask a question. You just get the read you need, and whatever comes through, comes through. Or $30 for the year ahead. That's usually 14, 15 cards going all the way around the year. A couple of clarifiers in between. If you want to ask a one question mini or a one question full, a mini is 7 to 10 cards. If I clarify, see what's going on. And that's, you get to ask a question. It's a typical tarot read. And then if you want to do the full reading, that could be anything from 15 to 20 to who knows cards, clarifying, because I do get nosy. I get a little bit nosy. So I do. So I get a little nosy in there. I'm not doing the bones and crystal ball when I'm downstairs. I can do a past life downstairs. That's $50. And these are the paid reads that are now opening up. It's Venmo, Cash App, and PayPal. And it's A5C Butterfly. The E comes before the I. And I remember it by saying E-I-E-I-O. I know it's silly, but otherwise if you pay the wrong person, I really can't do anything about it. So a little nosy chatty, yes, or a lot. Let's just get real. I do get a lot nosy sometimes, or always. Well, often, not quite always, almost always. Like 9.5 out of 10 times I'll get a little bit or a lot of bit nosy. Really, I will. So that's how that goes. So, okay, that's what's going on. Yeah, the payment links are in the bio. There's a beacon in the bio, so you can look at that. Yeah, we can get started. We can do the collective. I brought down some of the oracle cards the other day, and I have my tarot. I don't know if you guys can see the right here. This is what I've got for cards. So these are about 10 decks each. So it looks like I have about, I don't know, 70 decks down here, and I still feel like I'm not quite fully dressed for tarot. So yeah, so that's what we've got going on. So that's where we're at. So I probably can do one more little micro, but then we're going to get into the paid list. So that's what we got going on. And for some reason, I feel like it's frozen up. I'm not sure why. Hopefully it didn't freeze. Okay, I don't think it's frozen. Hey, Anna, good to see you. Good to see you. Lanny, will you move with Dad? Lanny, will you move with Dad? I want just one card straight up from here. This says yes. Ace of Pentacles is saying reward, and yes. Yes, that's what I'm saying. This feels like one card. It feels like just, and one card. Yes. So that's what I'm getting. So yeah, glad I'm not frozen. That's a good thing. That's a real good thing. And I've got my contacts in today instead of my glasses, but this left one's being a little bit of a bugger. So if it keeps bugging me or if I keep being blinky wonky, sorry about that. We'll do the best we can with this. So we'll see what's going on. So anyway, all right, let me put these to the side. Hopefully we've got it under control. So Kim, you paid for the blind reading for Kim. Okay, the blind reading for Kim. All right, all right. Let's see what we got here. We're gonna go into these ones. Okay. Blind reading for Kim. Wow, we've got the serpent, big time, big time. What are you weaving around and what are you shedding? Something new coming in. I'm going to angle this down. You want to see this. Okay, hopefully you can see these pretty good. We got the serpent coming in strong. We got the quantum leap that you're taking, and then the inner labyrinth. So hopefully you guys can see them good. Let's see if this will do it. Yeah, this down here is about killing me. It's busting my chops, guys. All right. What is this that's being shed? I want to know this first before we get onto this. This is pretty, like, apparent. This one, there's sometimes wisdom that comes in. There's sometimes a protective thing that's going on. This is also the keeper of the egg and a rebirth thing coming up here. What's going on with this? There's some kind of wisdom lesson that you're having to learn, and it's almost like you're pressurizing, putting pressure on and around the egg to make it come through. What's going on this? Discovering truth, transformation, and stepping into power. Give me just 1 second. I want to look at these. How many different ways can you look at this? It's like you've traveled the path. It's like that with the labyrinth coming up here, it feels like you're retreading, backtracking, going over something old, looking again, traveling the path kind of in, you know, I've talked about the spiral path sometimes, but this feels like you're traveling a zigzag path, going back and forth in a weird way. And this is how you're increasing the pressure on the wisdom that you need to gain. It's the experience of it 10 years ago, experience of it 5 years ago, experience of it now. The same issue, that's such a loaded word, I don't love that word, but the same issue over and over again. This is what's coming in, this is what's coming up. Feels like the pressure on that is causing something to crack and move forward. This is important. And also there's a time of incubation when we're getting the serpent wrapped around the eggs. We're also getting heat generated there. Heat, something that needs to incubate to fly forward. We've got here the quantum leap and the phoenix here. If you've got the cosmic egg and divine wisdom coming through, if you've got that coming through and you're taking a fool's leap, this is a new journey that you're setting yourself on. It's overdue and it's time to do it. Stepping into power and navigating the inner labyrinth. It's not going to be all spelled out for you. I want one more card from this deck, this top deck. If you're stepping into your power, you're taking the first few steps. You might not even know that you're on the path or doing anything new. It might feel like you're doing the same old routine. We don't know when those microscopic, really miniature moments that are the pivots in life are as they unfold, as they happen. We don't always know where those are. Want more of these? Chimera. Now this is interesting. The Chimera is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful energy. Love this. This is the one that can transform into anything. There is more illumination coming up. There is more sun on this, and this is like a blended creature, a blended of two creatures, a little bit of shapeshifter energy because you have to adapt one trait and also another. If we go back to the snake and the bird, what are we trying to get from there? Okay, I'm getting the image of the bird, the snake and the bird when, you know, when the bird is just like, it's barely got any feathers and downy fuzz and it's just sprouting and it's just trying to figure out how to eat, or like somebody rescues a bird and they have to like bottle feed it with a syringe or something. This is the stage that you're at. You've broken the egg, it's cracked open, the incubation period has happened, it's cracked open, but you're not really fully ready to shed the skin. You're not really fully ready to adventure with all the wisdom forward. You're getting this, it's time to nurse something to health again, nursing something, and there's a lot of baby chicken feather type of references coming in. Baby chicken, the weird feathers that they have. It's like you're getting the beginner feathers. That's what I'm getting. Anything else going on? It's okay to do the zigzag path a little bit longer. It won't hurt to do the zigzag path a little bit longer. It's not going to take forever to transform. You just don't know that you're actually doing these steps that seem like daily grind, boring, oh no, not that again, yeah. Those are actually really mattering. They're really, really helping you overcome. You're doing better than what you thought. This is something about doing the daily walk, but with a bigger stride. That's what I've got. It just feels like you're doing this. You're going back and forth in a way that's actually taking you forward, but it takes a little bit longer that way. That's what I've got. That feels complete. So I'm not sure what all that is about. You know what that's about. The grafting of the Chimera energy and transferring the snake and the bird energy together. This is huge. And also you might take that as, I think that if you think back, was it the Mayans that had that for Quetzalcoatl? And it's like a little bit of God energy to do things in that way. That's what it feels like. Yeah, there's like the flying serpents, the very, very, little bit of God energy to do it in that way. So don't doubt that it has to be done instantly, overnight, boom, bam, done. It doesn't have to be done instantly, overnight, boom, bam, done. It has to be done ziggity zaggity. That's what I've got. Has to go ziggity zaggity for a little bit and you'll be just fine. So that's what I've got for you. All right. Hey there, Brandy. Hey. Perfect. Ziggity zaggity is perfect. That's good. You know, that's not an easy one to deal with when we don't want to travel that path in that way. It's like, hey, no thanks. I'll take the direct route. But the universe says, no thanks. You won't either. So sometimes the universe won't let us outsmart it. So that's what we got going on. All right. Hey there, Cass. Hey, good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, exactly. Just go with it because you are making the pivotal choices. You just don't know it. You just don't know it. The kindergartner doesn't know everything that they can read when they're first learning the alphabet. They're just excited about each new letter. So that's what I got for you. So, and I thought I had a pen to keep track of names, but I don't have it here. And I think the list is now open. So let me hold this so you guys can see. This is what's going on. And hopefully you can see that pretty clear. I think you can. So that's what we're doing today. So if you have any kinds of questions, let me know and get on the paid list. We're into the paid list now. You can do Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. That was a blind reading. That's $20, and that's you get the read you need. You might not even always know what it's talking. Well, I don't always know what it's talking about. You guys almost always do. You'll know what it's mentioning. You'll know what it's mentioning. You're probably going to see something like, if I mention something that's a reference of a baby chick or something goofy like that, you'll probably see something that you didn't think about in a couple of days and go, oh, that's what she was talking about. It happens all the time, all the time. And in fact, I was doing a reading a while back and it was interesting. I had pulled the card that is the Seven of Wands, where the guy has like a boot and a shoe on, two different shoes. And I was talking about that, and the girl had literally done that experience where, you know, you're in a hurry, you go out the door, and you have two different shoes on. And I was like, okay. And that just happened to her. And I was like, okay, the cards are too good. But yeah, like, what are you going to do with that? It's a little nuts how that happens sometimes. But that's what I got going on. So Lanny paid for the blind. Okay, Lanny, give me just 1 second and we'll see what's going on. I don't know why we're supposed to be in this one for you. So we've got, for Lanny's blind, we've got the Unicorn Tarot coming through, and I'm not sure why. And then we've got this Oracle, that's the Dream Oracle. This one's been getting a lot of use lately, a lot of work lately. Let's go to the unicorns first. Let me angle this down. I'm going to angle this down so you guys can see for Lanny. And I've got two mats out here, but I really don't like them, so this one has got to go. Bring this one forward. Just focus on there. Whoa, it's really slippery on the table without that. So, okay, we'll see what's going on. Lanny for the blind, what's going on? It feels like you've got somebody at your door, knocking at your door, like a spirit guide or spiritual teacher, somebody that is at the door, at the precipice, knocking rather loudly, like really loudly, and you're just not paying attention. You're not answering it. They could be talking to your Ring doorbell and you're not answering it. There's a spiritual lesson that you are flat out ignoring. The Hierophant, the teacher and the student. Ooh, Hierophant comes through. You're ready. You've been given the keys. They are at the door. You are ready to do this. What are you being a chicken shit about? I don't know. But this is time for you to teach. This is time for you to set an example for others. I don't think you like that term. I don't think you like that notion. But it is time for you to go beyond just studying. Time to teach. If you were to take this in the case of like how they used to have this set up as the Pope card, or somebody that is entering the ministry and then the bishop goes or the pastor goes and they have their own little clergy to take care of. They have their own little flock to take care of. This is what a teacher does with the students as well. Other end of it. The message is clear. The message is right here, right now. It's like your voice is quite quiet and you don't want it to be quiet, but you're not ready to put the message out. Why? I think you'd rather stay in the stage of the perpetual student. And it's not the right move for you to do that. What's got you uptight? Ooh, this is beautiful. Look at this. Okay, you see the big witch and the little witch, and then you see the statue of the witch behind. Do we see the repetition here? Here's the Hierophant, right? We're seeing the two students there, two students here. You don't want to become the institution. You have things that you don't like about the institution, about the establishment. You want to take some of these lessons and move forward and teach forward and go forward, but you don't want to become or seen as part of the old way, part of the old teachings. However, you do have natural born teaching abilities and you need to embrace those. The spiritual lessons you have, the gifts you have, and the way you bring it forward. No matter what you're bringing forward, some of the old wisdom has been around since the dawn of time. I mean, gravity is gravity, right? So if you've got gravity as your lesson, if you're teaching somebody, this is how it always goes, like the law of karma. What you do has a natural consequence, or what you focus on attracts more. This has been around for a long time in the old teachings and in some of the newer, more modern age, new age type teachings, but it's the same truth. Approach it from whatever way that you want to approach it, but it's time for you to fall into it. You can't help but fall into it. And the more you try and back out of it, the more precarious it feels, the more you try and back out of it, you're going to fall right into it. You're not going to land poorly. You're not going to land on your head. It's not going to be a bad thing. You're just freaking out. This is what you should be doing. If you say you're seeing this in a dream, you're stepping back off the cliff, you fall, you fall, you fall, you fall. You land on either a flying carpet or a floating bed or something like this. The universe has you. It's got you. It's telling you, I got you, babe. I got you. Now let's see what else is going on with this. These are beautiful images coming through for you. Let me see if you can see this. Hopefully you can see that. And I'm going to put these a little closer so you can see them. Maybe like this. Okay. What else do we have here? What's between the two? There is a message here that you need to carry forward. Whatever this is, the inspired thing that you need to go towards, you need to go toward. Okay, fine. Lucy's showing me like if you're tiptoeing into the pool, and Nell, of course, with there being water, is like having a fit. Now, Lucy and Nell are my guides. Lucy shows me this very calm pool and somebody kind of tiptoeing in, stepping in, very slowly, very stately, very graceful. Nell's over by her little rock by the stream, and she's just stomp, stomp, splash, splash. She's saying, get into it, get into it. You think the way of the tiptoeing is going to serve you fine, and it's not nearly full enough. It is the time to dive in, to leap in. Better to look forward and leap in is what I'm getting. Better to look way forward. So rather than falling back, better to look and just go for it. It is the time to dive into it. Once you dive in, even if you tiptoe, it doesn't serve you. You're going to end up doing this and you can't avoid it. You cannot avoid it. And you can't avoid being caught either. That's the beauty. That's the beauty of it all. You cannot avoid being caught. The universe has you on this. There's something to do with music that's coming through. Whenever music comes through, there's creativity, there's art, there's harmony, but there's also expression, self-expression, and a voice being taught, something that's being spoken. The unwritten song is not meant to die within you. The unwritten, unspoken thing is not meant to die within you. There's so many songs that become anthems, so many songs that do beautiful for so many. Yet if the writer of that song had not written it, would the singer of the song be able to do anything with it? Those two talents don't always go together. You need to let whatever is needing to be expressed, and you need to do it in a way from a powerful stance of leadership, not from the stance of, I don't think I can do this, or I'm feeling kind of chicken about it. No, not from that. Just for going forward. You need to be ready to do this. What is it? There's a song, I wish I was a punk rocker with flowers in my hair. In 77 and 69, revolution was in the air. That's what it is. Those lyrics, those kind of things. Yeah, look that up on YouTube. It's worth doing. It's worth a look. It's worth knowing. This is how you're going to go forward. This is where you're going to get your gift. Is there anything else? No, the page needs to come in again. The honors come in right here. The honors come in right here. It's like cloaked in protection, cloaked in creativity, and ready to go forward. This is complete. That's complete for you. That's what I've got. Don't be afraid to teach. That's what you got. That's what you got. So, okay. All right. That's what I got for you, sweetie. That was really beautiful. I was surprised the unicorn tarots came in on that at all. Okay, for Brandy and Tess next. So just 1 second, and we will get that going. So for Brandy and Tess, and we will get this because it is slippery on this table, guys. So please forgive, the setup is going. Yeah, that was beautiful. Okay, so Brandy for a full. So Brandy, I'm seeing yours. I'm looking for your question here, and I'm seeing it. How does he really feel? Is he playing games? Okay, let's take a look. We're going to the Radiant Wise Tarot for you, okay? So I'm angling the iPad down. We'll see. This is just driving me bonkers today. It's one of those days. Is he playing games? How does he really feel? Let's look at how does he really feel. I want a line of 5 straight up for that. And then we're going to look a little bit deeper about the games or how you're getting signals crossed or that kind of thing. How does he really feel? Okay, what we're seeing so far, let me show this to you so you can see. We're starting here with the Six of Swords. He's feeling like he's wanting to leave baggage and leave drama and leave excess behind, but he's highly, highly burdened. So he's going to be non-committal. He's going to be wanting freedom, wanting to escape something and not wanting more on his plate than he already has. This is what's going on in the initial feelings. He sees value. He sees something that's going on. He sees something that's very attractive. But look how grounded this is. And look how the need to move and set something down, the need to get away from entanglements, entrapments. This guy is wanting freedom is what I'm getting. Now, right here, we have the sun coming up on this. This is one of the happiest cards in the deck. I love this. He's feeling like he wants to explore. He wants to see more. He wants to see more growth. He needs more joy in different areas of his life than he's even recognizing right now. Magician's in the house. There may be some sense that you feel like he is playing a little bit of games, but we're asking how he's feeling. And what he's trying to do is figure out how he fits in the world anyway. He's got all the tools. He's got the ability. He's got the capacity to do relationships in a bigger way. But is he really wanting that right now? It doesn't feel like he wants to go in the deep waters. He just wants to go to something more peaceful. Let's see what else is going on with this. Let's learn a little bit more about this more peaceful that he's looking for. Why is this? Why is he wanting more peace? Why is he wanting, or why is he feeling like there was just too much chaos and he needs to go for less drama? Definitely holding back. He hasn't had the clear perspective yet. This is the card of the miser, but it's also the card of somebody that's gotten stung. Somebody that's holding on. And usually we hold on like this because of fear, because we don't want to step in the same trap again. Now here we show the Hanged Man. This is the one that needs the new inspiration, the new way to see. He cannot have that just yet. There needs to be a time allowance in order for that to move forward. Then the overflowing love kicks in. That's when it starts getting good. So this is what's going on. It feels like he's in some ways committed to the wrong things in the past and not sure what the lesson is yet. He's still upside down on it. He's still got to figure it out. He hasn't figured out the lesson yet. He's trying, but it still feels like a burden. What he's not realizing is he can set down all the sticks. He can do it smarter instead of harder, and he hasn't figured that out. And so he goes from a place of lack or a place of fear. There's definitely like this phobic type of energy. He doesn't want to get overcommitted and not being able to have enough to support, to show up, to provide. He doesn't want to take on something, and he's had his ability. This is very strange and very weird, so take it for what it's worth. What I'm getting is he's had his ability to provide, to produce, to measure up in a very masculine kind of way. He's had that dismissed. He's had that pissed on, so to speak. He's had that diminished, and he doesn't feel like he's super, super strong and able to do that. Maybe he feels like he should be able to do and meet a certain standard in what he's doing, what he's providing, and it does feel very money-oriented in this. I don't know what that's about, but it feels like he doesn't feel like he's got the cash, the car, the house, the ability to provide, the ability to bring on, so he doesn't want to take on more. He feels burdened enough in what he's doing. So this is what I'm getting here. Now let's see about what else. Is he playing games? I want to get a second deck. That's a pink one. All right, we got the gold foil. It's the same kind of Pamela Coleman Smith imagery, but it's the gold foil deck, and it's the yellow, sunshiny yellow one. Let's see what's going on. Is he playing games? We're going to put these to the side. Hang on. We're just going to move these to the side as they are. Move this one down. Move this to here. And we're going to move this. Hopefully you can see. Okay. Okay. Putting this down again. Okay. How does he feel? We got that. Is he playing games? It doesn't feel like it. It feels like he doesn't know how to do the tricks, how to perform. He's got the basic elements, but it doesn't feel like he's the master of them. It doesn't feel like he's trying to purposely manipulate or be a player. It feels like he's still learning. All right, let's see what's going on. Is he playing games? He doesn't know how to cover his own ass. That's what's going on. Okay, got it. Hang on. All right, hopefully you can see this. You got Sneaky Pete the Thief or Robin Hood the Good, who steals something for the betterment or for a better, higher reason. But whatever the reason is, he doesn't know how to cover his ass or protect his own interest in what he's doing. We're getting the magician in here again. He knows a little bit about the elements, but he doesn't know about the sacred use of them. He doesn't know how to connect relationship with what his ability to do is. So if you get a beginner magician and like you get them for your kids show, the kids are going to see through every trick, everything. They're like, yeah, you don't got it going on yet. This one just feels like young in the energy of relationship, not knowing what they're doing, not knowing how to protect their ass. So they do stupid shit. This is Sneaky Pete the Thief, and this guy does not feel very sneaky. He doesn't feel very stealthy. This one feels like he just literally is trying to figure out how to survive another day. Ace of Wands. He wants a new start, sees that there is possibility for the new start. He needs to feel a little more potent, a little more swing. This is the card of swing. He needs to feel more of the divine masculine in his own. He needs to feel more powerful, like he can pull this off. Fool comes in next. Fool coming up is saying, yeah, he does want a new start. It doesn't feel like he's playing games. He just doesn't know what he's doing. That's a huge difference. So if somebody is playing games and is just trying to yank your chain and jerk you around and they're being kind of a douche for no reason at all. If they're doing it intentionally with a maliciousness, then I would say, yeah, he's playing games. Yeah, he's just being a jerk, player, lady slayer, that kind of thing. We're not seeing the Knight of Wands here. We're not seeing the Knight of Cups. We're not seeing the Three of Swords. These would all be cards of player, shouldn't pull on two tables, all that kind of thing. This guy just feels like fool, ignorant, doesn't know what he's doing yet, trying to figure it out. Queen of Swords. You might just be further down the track as far as your experience of relationships. And relationships, I don't mean the number of them. I mean the quality and caliber of them. The way you do, you're operating more like the queen. He's not operating like the queen. He sometimes is just young in this, very, very young in this. Is there a karmic lesson here? Yeah, for both of you. Is it going to be necessarily the lover's lesson? Maybe not. This is how do you get balance? How do you understand the truth? And this is just Angie talking here. And the Chariot's here. The balance needs to come through, but the momentum is stalled for a bit, and the Chariot has one rider. In order to get momentum and get over feeling like you're stalled, this is where you have to relegate him to the friend zone. It doesn't feel like he's playing games. It feels like you're expecting more than capacity to do. Relegate him. What I mean by this, when you're playing the field and you're dating and you're young, you might have your hopes that this could become something more than just friendship. And so you treat it as such. And you're like, oh, is he going to call? Is he going to blah, 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 whatever. So dependent on his next move. But if he was just a friend of yours that was a friend, you'd be like, yeah, if he calls, that's nice. But we take whoever we're dating sometimes with a little more intensity, a little more seriousness. So relegate him to the friend zone right now. He's going through bad divorce after 24 years. He's not capable of getting out of this and seeing a relationship with you as anything other than drama and a burden right now. But if he sees you as just a friend right now, that could be where the lesson is supposed to be. Supposed to be. There might be other magicians in his environment too that have been a little bit manipulative, a little bit like whoever his person is that he's dealing with. He might be not dealing with somebody that's dealing straight with him. So it feels like relegate him to the friend zone for now. Don't pursue him as partner. Because the timing just doesn't feel right for that. It just doesn't. It feels like you'll stall out every time. If you relegate this person to the friend zone and be like, okay, cut the shit about it. Cut the, oh, it needs to be a relationship, He's not going to feel pressured like he has to go from the relationship that he's getting out of and somebody else is putting demands. No. Relegate him to the friend zone. That's the best thing I can tell you, because it's not going to serve you to have him assigned to something more than he is capable of doing. And right now, his capacity isn't there. He found you. He was your first love and you were his, and you're telling him just friends. Keep telling him that. If he wants it to be more, he's going to have to do things that make him step up, that require him to step up. And keep telling him that for a while. Let it unfold in its own time, whatever it is to be. But no, he's not playing games with you intentionally. He's not being malicious or spiteful or being a jerk or anything like that. That's where he's at right now. So that's what's going on. So that feels very, very complete. I've told you everything that's what I would just. The Chariot will get the momentum, but it's you driving it on your own. And that's what you need to be in the driver's seat for what's going on in your own life, your own experience. So I would give it time. I wouldn't expect quick change at all on that. Okay, test for the blind. Just 1 second and we will get to that. for Tess for the blind. You're so welcome, honey. You're so welcome. It's hard to be patient, especially when it comes to love or love and friendship, and especially if lines have been blurred. It's like, it's sometimes we want it crystal clear, and it's not going to be because we have to learn through the experience. Okay, Tess for the blind. What do we got? Hang on. All right. Okay, Tess, we're going into a Lenormand deck that I'm sure is not going to read Lenormand, and we're going into the Rumi. Is it? No, it's either the Rumi or the Sufi Oracle. That's the cards we're going into for you. For Tess. All right, let's see if we can get this down. Get this down. Hopefully you can see. It feels like you've been sitting alone. It feels like a little bit of jail time, lost, forlorn. Here we have the child looking and trying to figure his way, but with the teddy bear. This is the one that's supposed to be going, and this is a sense of forlornness coming through. There's divinity all around you. You're not seeing it. There's patterns that you're not seeing. Look to where you're seeing the starlight, where you're seeing patterns, and where you're seeing, if you have like a dream catcher on your wall, it'd be really good to have a dream catcher or a sun catcher right here. This one is not so much about the birds. They're reading totally oracle. It's more about this pattern on the wall, pattern on the wall. You're going to see things with prismatic light. Now you hear me reference this periodically, kind of a lot. What is that other stone? Moonstone. Get the moonstone and get some selenite. Either of those would be very good stones for you to have right now. But if you have something that's like a crystal or a dream catcher and the patterns on the window, you're meant to put your focus there. It will help you clear some of the clogged thoughts that are going on for you. If there's a gift coming your way that's important, this is something when you're out in nature, you will notice it more. This usually means gift, prettiness, flattery. This feels like a gift coming your way when you're actually in and among the nature. So you have to walk a little further out than what you intended to, a little further than you planned on. Then here, this is letting something that's the old pattern end, the old pattern cease. We talked about the patterns here. This is definitely an ending of something in the Lenormand fashion, but the pattern itself needs to end. And it doesn't feel strongly like a devil or a bedeviled type of card in the tarot. It feels like this pattern, once you recognize it, you can sort and sift and choose what pieces that you want, what fragments that need recovered and restored. There's something going on that fragments need restored here. So I'm not sure what that's about, but when the fragments need restored, it's calling parts and pieces of yourself back together again. Calling the parts and pieces. I had this honey calcite stone. It broke into 3 pieces in the bag just in the course of moving. And it feels like all of it is honey calcite, but now there's different shapes. Now that it's broken into these different shapes, one of them is kind of more a little bit triangular. And I thought, wouldn't it be cool to wire wrap that and do jewelry craft like Luke, Jens Luke does? Create some kind of jewelry out of that. I would have never had that thought beforehand because I didn't see that stone in that shape. What's going on for you is the shapes are changing. The patterns are changing. The fragments and pieces will have different meanings to them. Let's see what's going on in here. Yeah, that's the perfect thing. You do have this energy about you, and it would be very wise for you to get something pyramid shape around you. I'm still stuck on that honey calcite. There is reason. There is reason. Okay. Lucy's giving me the honey calcite in the hand, the pyramid in the hand. It is almost as if you could get whatever this is, whether you get, and I'm not saying you have to get honey calcite. I still think it's more like moonstone that you need. Get that in your hand, or whether you get a pyramid shaped stone. Either of those things would help you as a focal point. But the dream catcher and the prismatic thing, when you focus on that, allow your mind to take you into the pyramids. Allow your mind to be taken within the sacred chambers of your own heart, the sacred chambers of your own wisdom, the ancient chambers of your own wisdom that need to come through. I don't know what that's about, but that's what's coming in. So let's take a look. Yes, okay. Rounding and rounding and rounding about. It's like the going around the pyramid. You've gone up the stairs. It's like you circle the pyramid once more before you get the secret entry, and you go into that chamber of your heart, and then you know the knowing because you descend down into this chamber. You really sit and be with the feeling that you're supposed to be in. Surrender with joy is the card you're getting. The secret chamber of the heart is coming through, and there's an exuberance to this card. If you can see the image right there, it looks like a lady that's like arched back and ready to fly. This is what's going on. This is heart magic stuff. This is huge for you. This is important. as far as getting this lost child to this exuberant space. Feels like there's two more that need to come through here. Okay, what are we getting? This one's wanting me to tell you about orbs and angels, orbs and angels. You need to be looking for those. It's not just orbs and angels and pearls of wisdom, but it is orbs and angels. You'll see them more like prismatic light. It's why you need to see this. You might not see actual orbs. You will see prismatic light. And by that, I mean the really pale, pale colors. You might see white, a little bit of lavender, a little bit of the light gold yellow here, and a little bit of almost like a brownish almost color. You'll know it when you see it. You'll know it when you see it on Moonstone, the way the light reflects on that. You'll see it there. It's not going to be full, 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 full. It's almost like a clarifying color for you. I can't read upside down. It said, ending a trauma, transform memories and symptoms. Now this one, this is as if you've gone down, down, down into this chamber, down, down, down into the depths. There's one of my decks that has this spiral also, and it's about knowing. It's about clarifying, clarity coming through. It is about transmuting. When you are transmuting, you're allowing what was the trauma, what was the thing that hurt, wounded, impacted you in what feels like a difficult and challenging way. You're learning to let that heal and to become bigger than. You're learning to enjoy the essence of who you are through this. Understand that when you look at that Dreamcatcher light, and you'll see, understand the lavender band. I don't know what that's about, but the lavender band through there, lavender often is a color that comes in if Lucy's around, and she's one of my big guides. Understand the lavender band that's coming through. This is something that if you focus on and you ask and invite the guides in, they will bring you the gift. They will bring you the gift of more healing, and the gift of being able to transmute this. Finding the path. This is saying you're the navigator. It's not exactly correct to what I'm seeing in my mind, but it does give you the idea of having to go around a square, a foundational. Sometimes squares are referencing the masculine, but going around a foundational or an existing challenge to go deep within. So if you think of the base of the pyramid, the very square that you're having to walk, it'd be nice and easy if you could do it in the circular pattern. It hasn't become that smooth yet. You're having a marker post, a marker post, a marker post, a marker post. I'm getting something about the fact of the 4 marker posts, the 4 years. This is something that is a wound that has been a sliver that was embedded, and it feels like 4 years ago. It feels like at least 4 years back, this sliver began to get embedded. If you look back historically in your personal history, 4 years back, it feels like that's where this started to creep in a little bit. And it might be that this is the time where you acknowledge it, you see it, and you start this healing journey, this healing path. Transmuting something doesn't happen instant, boom, overnight. It's just not that way. If you're alchemizing something, it doesn't happen overnight. Healing is the journey the whole time through. Alchemy is what we do all along the way. Anything else? Imagination. It's saying draw from the well of your own capacities. Now this is coming through as very fuchsia, but I want you to look at this card and see the color of the lavender in here. The lavender, lavender, lavender. You don't need the red pain so much. You need the lavender. This is the third eye seeing that I'm wanting you to open up. This is really looking to the spirit guides and ancestors on this. This is transmuting from the pain of survival to creative, to individuating all the way up. And it feels like the green and the blue happen fast. So you're going here. You're going to this inner space of knowing. I want to go once more to here. Yeah, if you don't have bushels of lavender around you or bushels of purple flowers around you, I'd really fucking go to the dollar store, get some fake purple flowers, put them somewhere as a focal point, just for this exercise of focusing on. It doesn't have to be all of this, all of this, all of this. And lavender oil is also very good at helping you relax, helping you get into a steadied space, into a calm space. Steadied, as in unstable needs calmed. Navigating the labyrinth of the heart is what's coming through here. It is amazing. It feels like one of those little kid pinball toys on this one. Yeah. Where you try to get the ball into the exact center and you have to balance and stabilize and balance and stabilize and balance and stabilize. It feels like you've been a little bit manhandled in your time, a little bit up, down, topsy-turvy. You've got to get a little bit more centered in order to get to this state where you can recognize the pattern, where you can actually navigate this labyrinth and go forward. Anything else? No, this is the perfect analogy. One of those little kids, little mazes with a ball in it is the perfect analogy. That's what's going on for you. And it has felt unsteady. Just understand that you can do it. It needs to slow down, get smoother, get more evened out. That's what I've got. That feels very, very complete for you. That's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That's what I've got. Yeah, definitely this lavender energy is a little bit relentless. And this is Lucy being a little insistent. You've got lavender here, you've got lavender here, you've got lavender here. This even has the colors that you might see that are the hints of colors that you might see if you had moonstone. That's what I've got for you. That's beautiful. Really, really beautiful. There is healing in the wings right now. This is what's supposed to be coming for you. And it's time and it's overdue. So yeah, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. You're welcome, honey. You are so, so welcome. Yeah, I love that for you. I love it, love it, love it. So yeah, Cass, drop your question if you've got your question, no problem. I'm going to get a little bit of water and then we'll take a look at what's going on. So, okay. I get so thirsty, guys. Go figure. Okay. All right. So, Cass, for a full reading. Yeah, if you drop your question, general for the next 3 months. Okay, Cass, let's take a look. Where are we going to go for you? We're going to the Everyday Witch from Deborah Blake. So I'm going to drop this down so you can see. If we need to clarify, we'll go into Rider-Waite and we'll look at what's going on because I've got a variety of different Rider-Waite decks. So we'll go in and look at those. Give me just a second. Cast the next 3 months. What I'm getting is a sense of an arc and an arc and an arc. So really, if you think about maybe not even a full half rainbow, but the beginning, maybe 40% of it, a little bit more than a third of a rainbow, that's the arc that I'm seeing. And you're getting it here, here, here. So this is what you're getting. So let's take a look. See what's going on. All right, I'm going to angle this down just a little bit more. Hopefully you can see. Hopefully you can see. All right. Deborah Blake has the Everyday Witch Tarot, and it's so cute that I almost didn't get it for a long time. And I finally got it. Now I've got multiple copies of this thing. I've got 2 more copies of this upstairs. I love this deck. I even have a mini copy, so I actually have 3 copies of it upstairs. But I love this deck. The art is approachable and really, really fun. But it doesn't pack a wall up like the Teeth Kickers. It just is pretty clear. If you're first learning tarot, this would be a great one to learn on. What I'm getting right here, let me see if I can get this where you can see it. Hopefully. Right here. You can't see it. Let me scooch it down. There is a way to do this so you can see it a little more fully. I'm going to scooch this down. Scooch, scooch, scooch. Okay, there we go. I think that should be in view for you. This, you got the King of Wands, and what came up immediately is you're looking for somebody else to show you the way, lead the way, tell you how it goes. You're looking for somebody else to give you the map, and that's not going to serve you. It's like, do you want to be the king or the cat here? I mean, I know cats get the pampered lives and everything, but you're not the cat. You're meant to be the king, to point this out, to lead your own path. You're not meant to wait for this external validation or somebody else to tell you, or to be following. You're very strongly meant to lead. This is showing that you're meant to hold your own boundaries, establish what your boundaries are, and hold them very, very firmly. This is important for you right now. And this is you in this place of indecision, not making the choice. It's like you literally have, instead of a target in front of you, you have the map in front of you and just like throwing a dart to it to decide where to go. That's not the way to do it for you. That is not the way at all to do it for you. You're going to have to take the blindfold off and actually look at what these choices are. Look at what your options are. Make a decision of your own choice. And you're not going to get it wrong. You worry about getting it wrong. You're not going to get it wrong. You're going to make a choice that matters to you. The 8 of Wands, there's going to be lots of things coming at you. Don't doubt your capacity to deal with what's going on in this next month. You're capable of dealing it. There's a choice, a direction that you need to take, that you need to go, and somebody else can't tell you what it is. It has to come from within. Your intuition is trying to come on board and offer it up in a big, big way. Are you ready to listen to your intuition? This one in this card, usually not so listening to intuition. In this card, she's usually conjuring and doing and conjuring and doing and fighting off all the little fires and busy, busy, busy. Slow it down so you can hear what your emotion and your intuition is trying to teach you. Okay, we're going to slide these down this way so you can see the second month now. Second month. Now, this is a beautiful thing. We're seeing the 10 of Cups here. This is gorgeous, gorgeous energy. This is the happy ever after +1. This feels like June through July, and this feels like we're going into August here. So you're getting a little bit ahead of yourself, because this doesn't just feel like the back half of June, July. No, this feels like June, July. This feels like August. This is settling down. After the summer cools down a little bit, for you it may not be cool just yet, but the heat of the hubbubbery over here has certainly cooled. Ace of Swords, the clarity on what you want to do forward, moving forward here. The emotional clarity here, the mental clarity of thought. The clear knowing is what's coming through here, and the gift of being able to do it. This is the gift. It says the Ace of Pentacles, but it's got a little touch of that page to it, doesn't it? Where instead of just having the pentacle presented big, big, big on its own, like the cup is, you don't just have the pentacle at the garden gate. Here you're seeing the pentacle in the hand of the student. This is very, very page. Like as if you're going to college or going to take on something new. This is big, big, big. There's clarity of thoughts here with this ace. Clarity of the capacity, the ability to do it, and the desire to move on needs to be met. This is something that has ended, that's been painful in the summer, comes to an end, comes to a close, you survive it, it's time to move on. It's get on your way, get on your path. There's nothing wrong with acknowledging the lessons that you've learned, acknowledging the lessons you've outgrown, and getting out of there. And in this one, the illustration even shows us the dastardly doer. So whatever it is, whatever is being shown to you in August as the cause of the pain, take it seriously. Take it serious. The cause of something that you've outgrown. It's time to take serious and move forward. The Page of Coins is often the one I call the Batman, because he doesn't realize that he's not Robin, and he needs to learn to not hesitate, that he has the lessons, the wherewithal, the ability to go be Batman. The end of the happy, the end of the dreamy comes, and more happy is down the track for you. This is happy ever after +1. If you think of the goofy Disney fairy tales where they're like, tra-la-la happy, and they lived happily ever after the wedding. Anybody who's been married for a hot minute knows that the work begins then. The work really begins then. So the happy ever after is just one completion. The moving forward deeper into your happiness and deeper into your happiness. That's going to take some work. That's going to take some letting go and shedding of old ways and old pain. This is what's going on. And it's not the end of the world at all. It's not the end of the world for you at all. Look at this Sun card. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous energy here with the Sun card. This is the happiest card in the deck. There's going to be a new chapter opening up, fulfillment and joy. So when you see this, and then we go to clarify the whole experience, and we get this. See the Sun in this card? This is what's often overlooked. People see, oh, it's the end, it's the pain, it's so much betrayal, it's so hard. The new day is here. Whether you like it or not, the new day is coming. Whether you like it or not, there will be sun on this. Illumination, enlightenment, awarenesses that are gained that will be prized is what I'm getting through here. Okay, now we're going to shift it over so that you can see this is the August and this feels like September coming here. So that's what we've got. Don't be hung up on the June and July not being what you thought it would be. Don't be hung up on it not being tra-la-la-la-la-la. Tra-la-la-la-la-la is a little fucking overrated. It's like, I'm getting circus peanuts. I got that reference the other day, but the circus peanuts, there's so much sugar and so much air fluff that some people just can't even stand them. Some people just find them totally revolting. They aren't going to satisfy or nourish you much. They're just like, okay, that's a nice little funny treat for kids, but it's not anything serious, right? Okay, so here, going forward with this one. Hopefully you can see it. I think you can. We've got the Three of Cups here. Three of Wands here. You've made some kind of choice and decision. We're in September now. And what we're seeing is you're learning to be celebrated, not tolerated. You're lifting a glass to yourself, understanding how far you've come, surrounding yourself with soul family, soul tribe, not just putting all of your sense of importance or what's coming back to you in another person's hands, but actually adding and lifting others along the way too is huge for you. waiting for what you want to come back to you, waiting for what you send out to come back to you. It tells me you've made different choices. You're casting your magic, you're casting the spell, and you're paying attention to something different. You have a higher perspective. You've got the upper ground here. You're not just waiting. You're also seeing it from a different viewpoint. Here we have the Five of Cups. This will be you ready to see, ready to turn. Like you might be feeling a little consternation, but you are ready to turn and you're ready to bring this. I want to get clarification on this card specifically, because in this particular instance, you feel more like the boy than the one that's got this consternation. So what is it that you're shifting? And particularly with the Three of Cups coming in this way, what is it you're offering? When you get in this space of soul tribe and lifting others and doing it from a different way, it's like all along you're going to play roles of duality and get perspective checks all along the way. This is where you're going to offer to help lift. You're going to see this in somebody around you, the same lesson. It will be slightly different specifics, slightly different format, same damn lesson that I'm telling you about that you're learning. You'll see it in them and you'll recognize it and you go, okay. And it will help reaffirm and confirm the knowledge that you have. Yeah, the substantial lesson in the cup, the boy offering the cup. What did I say? Boy offering the cup, boy offering the cup. That's where you're at. You're going to actually offer the emotional gift that you learned here to make your own choices. Again, these are all about the emotional discernment that you're learning. And we have the Ace of Cups, which is the exact same card as this right here. This is emotional growth and overwhelming amount of love coming forward for you. This is very big. In September, you have learned it. You're like in a new school, new place, new way of doing. This is a big damn deal. This is big because you are learning how to do things. And when I say you're in a new school, I'm not meaning that you're literally going to college, but you are definitely getting new curriculum and studying it from a different point of view. It's like you finally have finished whatever this packet of information, this packet of curriculum is that was tedious for you, that was painful, tedious, and annoying. You finally have figured this out and you've passed it and you're moving forward. You're going to be creative about how you do this. This stinky fish tea, the lesson is in here. And it's more substantial than you think. There's more creativity in relationships than you think. And this is something that becomes very highly enjoyable to you. Now let's see what's going on in the overall. What's going on across all three of these? June, July as 1 month, August as 1 month, September. What's the energy going across all three? Two of Swords is going across all three. So you're at the crossroads for decision. Then you finish that decision at the crossroads again, the crossroads again. Two of Swords was in here before. Let's take a look at this one more time. Don't just randomly throw the dart at the map. Don't just let somebody else say, this is where you're going to go. This is where you're going to go. Make your decision. Take your time to get emotionally square with what it is. Don't let the emotions drive the bus either, but you can't just purple wash them. You can't just bypass them. You have to honor those emotions in order that you might move forward. Honor those emotions, and then the wisdom kicks in. Whatever you need to release and let go of, do so. It doesn't do you any good to hold on to a false hope or naivete is what I'm getting. It doesn't do you any good to hold on to that. It does you far more good to understand that you're the one supposed to be taking the lead in your life. You're the one that's supposed to be moving forward, making choices, making decisions. So just because you're at the crossroads now, this is not the same crossroads in September as it is in June, July. You've made other decisions along the way, but this is what you're learning, that you are capable of making good decisions for yourself. For some reason, you've learned to rely on somebody else's input a little more heavily than on your own. And right in the heart of it in August, you're learning to rely on your own. Very, very, very much on your own. This is what you're doing. And this is why it's a little bit painful. And maybe you like having, you know, a lot of us like double or triple verification on things. That's a thing. Yes, it is a thing. It's a way of learning, a way of getting the knowledge. But you're not going to let somebody else advise you stronger than your own heart. You're not going to let somebody else advise you stronger than your own spirit knows what is aligned and right for you. That's what I've got. That feels very, very complete. But it's beautiful. It's just a little bit, it's tricky to make those choices. But it's not as painful in September as it feels like it would have been in June, July. You're welcome, honey. You are so, so welcome. So welcome. Okay, let me get these cards put away and get a little bit of water, and then we'll get to the next read. Okay. All right, Krista for a mini. Okay, and Krista, I didn't see a question in particular yet, but let me get some water and look. And if you tell me which that you paid, I'm in Cash App right now, and I'm not seeing it there, but if you did, then just let me know. I'm not seeing it just yet. It doesn't mean it's not there. It just means that I need to check the other app or something. You're feeling very unsettled and maybe blocked, so whatever messages come through. For a mini for Krista. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. I'm really wanting to get into the Wanderer's Tarot, and I do happen to have both of these down here. So if we want to clarify, we will on this. If we don't need to, we won't need to. Okay, the Wanderer's Tarot. What is the block? Okay. What I'm getting on this, and it might not make any sense to you, but you know when you get a little pebble in your shoe or a little tiny stone in your shoe and you walk and you ignore it, you walk and you ignore it, you walk and you ignore it, rather than sitting down or stopping, you just are going to put up with it for a while. This is what's part of the problem. This is part of the avoidance going for you, and it's something that you already know, something you've already picked up, something that's going on. Gloria, I saw yours, just so you know. Gloria, I did see yours. So I got that, Kim. I got it. But this is what we're doing for the blockage. Okay, so back to the pebble in the shoe thing. So, the clairaudience is coming on too. I'm getting the Every Rose Has Its Thorn song. And it is really like you're expecting the roses to come thorn free, and they don't. So the blockages that are there are not meant to have you forever stalled. A red light doesn't keep you forever there. We get annoyed because we have to slow down and allow for other things to flow through. The thorns on the rose are not meant to dissuade you from picking the rose or enjoying the scent of the rose. No, the thorns on the rose are there just as a matter of course. They're going to be there anyway. So let's see what's going on. What do you need to know? Wanderers, wanderers, wanderers. Your shape is all screwball. Let me tell you this. Okay, so here we have the arc. So we have the arch that we saw in the recent read coming up, except for we saw 4 of them in the recent read and we saw them going in 3 months. You're just beginning at something, the hopes and dreams and what you want. There's this aspect of hoping that is a little bit disproportionate. Hoping is like, some people will think, okay, there's false hope or hoping and hoping and hoping, but they're not taking action on it. The dream is right. The intent is right. What you hope for is right. It's the start of something. Getting aligned and having that while you're healing is right. The hope needs to be something that's more feeling-based than external experience-based. This is what's going on here. The Emperor, very much like the King of Wands, except for this one protects and provides for the realm. Now, if there was somebody healing and they were in the Emperor's realm, if they were, say they're in this pond that is right outside the castle for the Emperor is not going to let anybody go in and disrupt that person until the healing process is absolutely done. Absolutely done. It's not done yet. The reason you're feeling blocked is because you want to look at something, but you want to look at something that is pain-free, and it's not going to be pain-free. And you can't spend forever on it. The 4 of Cups, the gift of the emotional breakthrough needs to happen. And this is a refusing to let go, and sometimes a little bit of boredom and apathy, or sometimes a pity party. And what I'm getting on this, and please forgive if I'm overstepping, but it's saying putting something in the role of something that happened to you, almost in the sense of a victimy, is the wrong narrative. Look again about surviving something. Look again at what it is that you've come through, how far you've come. Look again at it for only the lesson. Look at it coldly for the lesson, as if the lesson was all that mattered, because essentially it is. So no matter what, say you've had the pebble in the shoe, right? Once you sit down, stop, look at it for a minute and realize this is just a stupid pebble in my shoe. You chuck the pebble and you get right back on your path, right? This is what's going on. This is what slowed you down a little bit. It's like, and I don't know, sometimes this will happen if somebody's astrology is screwy. When I was a young girl, like whenever it was period times, things would feel disproportionately bigger or larger or more emotionally laden than what they would feel a week later, that kind of thing. It's not saying that it isn't big or it's wrong to feel that it's big, but the perspective just seems a little bit off on this. The way of seeing it as something that's happening to instead of for you. Just know the universe is always conspiring for you. even though it might not feel like it, that is the truth of the situation. It's this, in Earth School, we think, well, how is the universe conspiring for me if I'm going through a hard time, if I'm going for this, that? And I really don't have a full, complete, or satisfying answer. Other than, to my bones, I know that's the truth of it. The universe wants us to expand. The universe always operates from this point of expansion, growth, and love, and wants us to grow beyond whatever it is that's the challenge. Do I know exactly what's in your soul contract, their soul contract, that soul contract? And even in some cases when I do know it, is it my place to speak it? No, it is not always my place to speak it. This is where you've got to get up from this moment, get the emotions back in line so you can heal and move forward. Now we're going to look down a little bit more here. So we had all of this here, right? We're going to move this over to here. Sun card here. Full illumination needs to be there. Queen of Wands, most approachable, the one that has the mojo, the one that really has a whole lot of power going on. She's the one that everyone approaches, a lot of firepower going on. The most sensual of the queens, the one that understands her divine feminine really, really well. Her negative aspect is my way, my way, my way. She gets very territorial. And in that doing, in the getting territorial, it's great if you're defending the territory, but what if you get overly defensive? What if you get a little unyielding? What if you get a little bit broken ears? This is what's going on. And she's the most approachable, but if you're not going to listen anyway, if you're going to refuse or reject something, it doesn't serve. So what I'm asking you to do is to open your ears to a new story to tell yourself. The sun is trying to bring it through very, very strongly for you right now. Now, my next favorite card, I know you guys don't love this one. This one is beautiful. This is beautiful because what you built finally is truly fucked. And nobody likes this. But when the sun is over the tower, you're seeing exactly what's in the rubble. You're seeing exactly what's broken down. Say you had something that was like a false wall or something that was a hidden wall that had a treasure in that wall, and the tower gets hit and the wall comes down and there's the treasure. So it is with the emotion of our heart. So it is with our lessons. Sometimes heartbreak, heartache, curveballs, plot twists, fuckity situations, all of that going on. It's like, I didn't ask for this, universe. Go ahead, smite me, mighty smiter. I'm ready. Bring it on, God. Just zap me now. I'm toast anyway. I'm done. And God's like, okay, bammo. Curveball is done. And then you look at it and you're like, wait a minute, I'm still here. Things to learn, things to do, and the treasure is there. Always for me personally, the other side of the tower is beautiful, hugely beautiful. I would not be sitting in this living room where I'm at if Phil hadn't lost his job last year and we switched course. And that was not on our bingo card. That was not on our plan at all. But I wouldn't be sitting here right here if we hadn't done that and taken a different direction. So you're getting a mighty pivot. You're seeing the opportunity. You're getting a mighty pivot, a mighty curveball that's going to lead you forward. Now, what's in between here? Some of this is divinely lined up. Now we're seeing here the Psychonaut, and I love the stripy tights. Love the stripy tights on this one. This is the Fool. You got the Tower, then you get the Fool, the Fool's New Start. And this is something, you know how I've talked about the Fool having the knapsack and everything packed before we come down to the earth, before we're coming down to do our thing. It's like an inside layer. The metaphor I'm getting is you unpack the knapsack and inside of it is a little piece of like a tea cake or cornbread that's individually wrapped. Opening that up, that's the gift. That's the sweet. It's sweet cornbread like that you would slap maple syrup on or something like that, right? So that's what's coming in. The sweet gift within the gift. This is what's coming up. The new start. It's all there all along. You just didn't know it was there. It was bundled up so tight. You didn't know it was there. It's there. There is sweetness coming through. Now we've got the Six of Wands and the Knight of Wands. We've got the victory coming through, which is huge, huge, huge. Recognition and the survivability of something and lifted up, survived, and on parade. Really, really, people will see how well you've done, how well you're going forward. And then the Knight of Wands. After the parade, you're picking up pace. This tells me for a time, this shift in you will be something others notice, that you'll notice yourself and you'll be like, yeah, I really have come a long way. Yeah, I really am doing it differently. This is so good for me. But then it's going to be like charge, new inspiration, ready to go, ready to go, ready to go. And what came after that was that Queen of Wands on the top. Now this one I love. This Queen of Wands, she's coming back to herself, back to her own. Understanding when she needs to hold the territory and be insistent, but that she doesn't always have to. There's a more approachability, and this is a gentle queen. It's not that she doesn't have the power of the fire, but it's more like contained on the torch. She'll use it when she needs to, but she doesn't have to be quite so defending. Coming up next on these, what we're seeing, we see the Hierophant here. This is the wisdom, the great lesson that you have access to going through. The sun's bringing it through. This feels like in about a month and a half. What is going on? I'm sorry, it does not feel, I don't know what today's date is. All of a sudden the date eludes me. It's June 14th, a little bit over a month. It feels like more like, it feels like July 22nd is when things are opening up, and it feels like it's opening up for a good 10 days. What that's about, I don't know. But I am getting July 21st, 22nd, and about 10 days beyond that, it's opening. I would put some kind of energy out there for awarenesses to come through. So do your homework ahead. Look at your shadow lessons. Look at what might feel like blocking. Look at why you're feeling impatient. What is it you're wanting? Not just the result, but what is it, the energy you're wanting to experience? If you can shift that around on its head, reverse the order about the energy and the feeling, and start feeling that kind of thing, it's going to help you gain a little bit momentum. 8 of Wands. That's what's coming up after that. 8 of Wands. Things are coming. And this is a climb for you, a big climb. Look at this one. Passing up the others and climbing on again. This one here, this guy. He's higher up there. He's climbing. He surpassed some of this other. I want to see what else is going on with this. I want to get the second deck for this card alone. Even if that's all it is, that's all it is. There's new inspiring ideas, new speed, new pace. Weather change, heat's rising. This isn't just Angie having a hot flash. Heat's rising. Sweating, working. This climb takes a lot of work. Going forward. Why? Oh boy. Overcoming the tower. So what's happened? The tower and the beauty of the lesson, they aren't very far apart here. Now I've given you some time windows and some time frames. What comes up next? You know how to quest for the grail. This is you on the horse. This isn't other. This isn't some fucking Romeo coming your way. This is you romancing your own thing. You knowing your ideals, you knowing your dreams, and going forward and questing for the grail. Powerfully strong. Why? Because you've had this plot twist and you're going forward. Now it's diminished. Now it's in the rear view. You're going forward. What else? 7 of Pentacles. Fruits of labor are starting to come in. This fall is going to be quite big for you. This is coming through as the fruits of labor. Some of the things that you're doing now are going to be bearing themselves out at the beginning of the fall as things come in. Beginning of fall for you, I would give Indian summer dates. I would give again a 22nd, 21st, 22nd, but I would give this towards September. This is when you're going to see the harvest start to pop. This is when fall comes for you. So some people, some regions, I don't know when fall is for them. Maybe it's August. Maybe it's, I don't know. What I'm getting is what I'm getting. Shaman, this is when the magic comes. This is when you use your gifts, and it's not just that you're familiar with them or just getting acquainted with them. You're learning how to balance them skillfully. You're learning how to use things to manifest, to bring things about. You're learning not just how the trick is done or how the magic sort of happens, but you're learning how to actually amp it up. You're learning where the magic really comes from, and you have to explore inner mystery to do so. This is giving you the Knight of Swords. The thing that caused anxiety, the thing that caused stress and chaos and nightmare. It'll vex you in your sleep during this course of time. Don't let it vex you too much. Just realize what it is. It's either fear or shadow lesson coming to teach you. Welcome it as a teacher. Look at it as a teacher, and you'll be able to move forward through it. Anything else? Yeah. Hangman. When you welcome that as a teacher, you get the new perspective. Then you get let down from whatever has you hung up and strung up for a while. This, again, is feeling more like September's energy. That's what I've got for you. That feels very complete. That is just beautiful. That's what I've got. Love that. Love it. So, that's what I've got. Chad, are you saying you would love for a Romeo to come along? Romeos are kind of, Romeo could have done things a little bit different, and Juliet and Romeo wouldn't have ended up dead. Just saying. There's a thought. So sometimes Romeos are great, and sometimes not. So, all right. Okay. Gloria is next. Okay. And Gloria, I saw it come through, but was it? Yeah, it's for a blind. Okay. Okay. That one can go back here. All right. So this is the Witch cards, the woman in total control of herself. And Madame Endora's fortune cards, also very, very good. The Witch cards are far more beautiful, more high gloss. These are a little bit older school, but this is what's coming through, so we're going to use them both for you. I'm going to angle this down. We'll see what's going on with this. For Gloria, Blind Oracle. The 9 days, like the Pythia. Like the Pythia of old, like the Pythia, like the oracles of the Greek times. I think they had like the 9 days. There's somebody that does a 9 candles routine. This is what's coming on. The number 9 is coming through quite strongly for you. There's something that's going on. This is make sacred the 9 days. Devote yourself for the 9 days. Make room for the woman in total of control of herself for 9 days of honoring self. I'm not sure what this is about, but this is big, big, big. The 9 days comes through again. Give me a second. I got to look at these a little closer. The Goddess of Grace. The Maiden Journey. This is gorgeous. 9 days in the Dreamer's Realm. What's going on here? The Keeper of Silence. And the Selkie. The Selkie. That almost gives away her power by giving away what is her cloak to somebody that doesn't deserve it. The sealskin that's given to somebody that doesn't deserve it, that might entrap her. Okay, let's take a look at this for a minute. It feels to me that for 9 days you're going to be in the land of dreams. 9 days you're going to have very revelatory dreams. This is like really, really feeling a little bit hippy-trippy. You might be a little bit more lucid than usual in your dreaming state. I definitely would recommend some chamomile tea before bed, or some chamomile or some essence of that even if you do, Michelle's Spirit Guide Oil will be good for this. Michelle the Divine Key, her Spirit Guide Oil is really good for this. But it's more than just going in the meditation. You're going to be in a lucid dream space, and this is going to be different than what it is that is... when you go into meditation and you intend a certain thing, you're pushing too hard. If you blank out your mind in a meditation, some people don't like meditation, but if you do something that gets your mind in the meditative state, whether it's gardening, whether you're washing dishes or knitting, whatever, cross patterning, that's great. This feels more like the dreaming state, the unintentional dreaming, the unintentional cracking open of something. It is going to be in the dream space. This is... where gravity no longer is existent. This is where in the dream space you do have things where you have the flying dreams, or like for me, I have the ice skating dreams, which I don't do in my real space. So this is unencumbered by the way that our mind would want to rein things in, and our subconscious at play. There's hidden stuff in the subconscious for you during this 9 days. You need to mark the beginning of this 9 days according to your own terms, according to your own time frame. So don't worry if you get it on the full moon or the cusp of the moon or whenever it is. It needs to be you dedicating this 9-day period of time as a grace to yourself, ready to do. And this is where you're surrendering the thoughts that you thought it would look like, what you thought it would be, not to your detriment, but for a moment of vulnerability, for allowing things to open up. This is when you go a little bit, have a little bit of the underworld and the waking world collide. I want this witch deck a little bit more. The Judge. There is something that right here comes in, and it is almost as if you've been overly harsh on yourself, judging yourself. This one, when you encounter these harsh thoughts, you need to let them go as much as possible in your waking moments as well as in your sleeping and dreaming ones. You'll be able to determine that. You will be able to determine that and know the difference of the thing. Going into Madame Endora's now. The sacrifice she made and the misunderstanding, the misinterpretation. You're the Pythia, not the Medusa. The Medusa was once at the temples as the Oracle of the Temples. A bad fate befell her. She gets a bum rap. But it led to venomous anger coming from her. A righteous rage, yes. Very good anger for the reason. But it led to what created more havoc for her, more downfall for her. There is a misunderstanding of something that has happened in the past that needs to be resorted, reconfigured, and clarified. And part of this that but it's a righteous rage. Part of what is coming through as you have reason to be pissed. You have reason to be upset. Anyone would be. It's justified. It still doesn't necessarily serve if you hold on to that anger too long. You need to use whatever it is that's the anger or the lesson or the kernel that has a little bit of pain in it to move forward. You need to learn to use this anger in a way that serves not just you, but also serves others around you so that this venom can be released. Green man coming through. The forces of nature favoring you. It's like they're favoring Medusa. Now, we won't go into her story fully because it's just not the time and place to do this. The green man and the nature favoring this. Again, whatever this is that gets you relaxing in your mojo, whether it's chamomile tea, whether it's vetiver, whether it's lavender, whether it's a certain kind of ambient music, trance music, alpha, beta, theta, whatever state it is that you need to be in, get there, get there, get there. Don't dilly-dally around. Don't distract yourself. When you're in this 9-day zone, don't distract yourself. Don't allow for distractions. Write your intention and your purpose. What is the intention underneath doing this 9 days and dedicating it for self? Write it clearly. Put it aside and let the 9 days happen. The reason you write it clearly is because you take yourself more seriously when you do this. The sun is on this. There will be something. This is saying your perseverance is rewarded. This is something that clarity comes in time. You might think 7 days in, nothing has changed. Nothing has changed at all. You need more than the 7 days. You need those 9 sacred days in order to do something to allow the completion. And that might be where you see and you're like, click, 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 click. It might be that, yes, I'm getting this sun as literally something that is opening a gate, opening something for you. So you'll be able to do a little bit more of this lucid dreaming type of thing where you can get the lesson, get the message a little bit more clearly for yourself in a way that you have not been able to do before. It's going to open up a way that you can understand and interpret your own dreams a little quicker. Instead of just thinking, well, that's a weird dream, you're going to be like, click, click, got it, click, click. And you'll know the difference on something that, whether it's a divine, sacred, prophetic type of dream, the sacred lesson, the sacred message from the other side versus, you know, the monsters in the jungle. You'll know the difference quickly, quicker than you've ever known it before. Quicker than you've ever known it before. Even if you don't like the content of your dream, you'll know the lesson of your dream quicker than ever before. Your perspective will have shifted. You will be the woman in total control of yourself because you'll be able to ask before you go into the dreaming state for clarification on that. It's like somebody is giving you guided tour through the Akashic halls. That's what I'm getting. It's like you're going to be able to go into the library, into the halls of the Akash. You're walking the Akashic field, you're going down the halls, and you're being able to do this in a more voluntary way than you've done before. And you're going to do it in your dream state more. And the lesson might look screwy as hell, and even if you were to verbalize all of it, or even try journaling all of it down, it would be overwhelming to you. So just be with it for a minute when you're there. Just be with it for a minute. You'll understand. You'll be like, okay. You'll understand. You'll know what is going on in the dream space better than before. You'll be able to access things, access records in a way that's a little bit different. Mostly access, here's the key component of this lesson. And it will be almost like 2 sentences and you've got it. That's what I've got. Yeah, look for Mo. She's there being sassy. Yeah, Mo is the one that slaps the Post-its around. Look for her. You might look for Mo. She might come up a little bit differently for you, but if you see somebody looking kind of librarian-like with the glasses and like Post-it notes and ready to give you slap a sticker on a, I'm like getting the version of the stacks in the library where they have the Dewey Decimal numbers, blah, blah, blah. And instead you're seeing a Post-it note. Look for those kinds of things going on. Look for that also in the external realm. Mo is very good with that. She's just like, down with that, down with that. Mo will be there if you want to look for her. She'll be there. Mo will show up, and you don't have to call her Maureen, Moveen. You don't even have to call her Mo. Look for the Post-it. They'll be there. There's labels. There will be a system that you'll be able to find. You might even see like, really? I'm getting this Post-it like with just a big old arrow on it. You're going to be able to see it very, very clearly. Really, really interesting. So give yourself the dedicated 9 days for the Pythia Oracle, the grace of the old times to allow this to come through. And it might not be every day, every dream, every day, every dream, but the access is opened up now. And you need to do this first one, treat it very, very sacred and special. And then on occasion, you might need to do something like this again. And it's not because something has expired. It's just your way of showing the divine that you want to travel that field a little more. That's what I've got. That's complete. Holy smokes. That's beautiful and unexpected. Yeah, that's what I've got. Gorgeous energy. Gorgeous, gorgeous, and holy cow. So that's what I've got for you. So I don't know who's next on the list, Kim. I lost track after Gloria. So yeah, if the list is open, then the list is open. The list is still open for paid readings. If you want to get on it, that's just fine, but I just don't know who's next. You're so welcome, honey. This is going to be fun for you too. It will be fun adventure, and watch who you encounter when you're going through the library, through the fields. Watch who you encounter, because you will encounter people that are not here, that are not earthbound. All right, so be very, very aware. Okay, so if you want to ask a question and not have a tarot reading and just see what we get from the guides or from the other side, you can ask that right now. If you want, there's a sense of opening up. There's okay, the Iona aspect of me. This is my higher self aspect of me when I'm traveling the library. I'm traveling the library. The library is open right now is what I'm, yeah. If you want to ask a question, you can go ahead and ask a question. We'll just go direct without the cards for right now if you want. If you want to, you need advice from them. Chad, what are you needing advice on? Okay, I'm looking at this. Hopefully I'm looking at this clearly. So you're needing advice on something. Roxanne Lynn. Yeah, and this is, I'll show you the commercial if you want the commercial. Here's the commercial. Boom, boom. There you go. Commercial. How do we deal with the negativity occurring on the plane? What I'm getting is, okay. Go. It's not something to be outrun, outmaneuver, or chased differently. The negativity on the plane, the duality on the plane of the earth field has always been there. Such is the way of expansion, such is the way of contrast. The duality is always on the plane. Focusing only upon the negativity is just as foolhardy as focusing only on the positive. However, you can shift so you're focusing more on the positive, so you recognize there is more positive. This place, this planet, is not only for just happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, happy. We so see the focus in the lens, in the global lens, negative here, negative there, negative here, negative there. There has always been conflict and strife and greed and lust and anguish and sorrow and pain on the planet. It has always ever been. There is less of it at certain times than there is at other times. When we focus the lens and refocus and recognize that the amount of it that we are seeing is disproportionate to the amount we are experiencing in the daily walk. This is how we lift ourselves. This is how we shift our focus. Take the lens again to what is the local, what you can do for the neighbor, how you can love the neighbor rather than disagree with the neighbor, how you can love the self, what you can share, what you can do, what you can create. Shift the focus as to what it is that you are able to create and to offer in order to go forward. When you are lost in the very art of the moment, in the creative moment, you are so in the now. It doesn't give power to the past. It doesn't give power to the negative. It doesn't feed the demons, so to speak. You guys, that word is such a funny word. It doesn't feed that energy, the negative energy, when you're in creativity, when you're allowing creation, because they're in creation too, creating negative na-na-na. Most of us do not want to create negative na-na-na. So we go forward, and if we want to create, whether we're coloring, whether we're baking, whether we're doing something creative, we're focused on creating something. If you focus on creating and offering song, offering voice to something, focus on music that you have loved from years past, music from the adolescent days that you still like to listen to, music from the teenage years when you're thriving and striving for your independence. Those are the songs that they'll hook you quicker because of that painful growth, the painful metamorphosis that's happening during the adolescent years. It's why we attach so fervently to those songs. It's why we attach to ones that we love so much that really can shift us that fast into something else. It is why we attach to those. The music has the ability to shift like nobody believes. Whether you sing perfectly or not, sing your song, sing what it is, allow the music to flow through you, allow the creativity to flow through you. Open that, open that, open that. This is how you open it is opening the vault of positivity and allowing more of that to be released, not only to you, but to others. This is how you shift from the negativity. This is how you shift from it. Don't underestimate the fact that you have pain as a teacher. You see negative as a form of contrast, but don't over empower what is negative or nonsense. There is a percentage of the planet that is highly committed to negative nonsense. They are highly committed to spew, highly committed to conflict and chaos. It isn't the way for most of us. It isn't the way for all of us. The child that screams the loudest isn't always the one that gets served first. The squeaky oil that gets the grease isn't always the way to do it. Sometimes the child that screams the loudest just needs to scream and have their tantrum. And sometimes we let them have their tantrum. We go on about what we're doing. They get bored with their tantrum. They get bored with their nonsense. They can stomp their foot all day long, fling themselves on the floor, have a tantrum. And if you just don't care that they're having their tantrum and you allow that to be, it'll subside. You'll need to learn some discernment about when this happens, as to you, specifically to you. Creation is pivotal to you. Creation is important to you. Don't quit creating. Her grandfather created, my grandfather created and was a student even when he was in his 80s. Such it shall be with anyone who wants to create positivity to the planet. Always offering abundantly, and knowing that the wellspring is not dry is huge for us. That's how you work with that energy and let it flow. That's what I've got. That feels complete. So yeah, that's a sense of going direct is what I would say. So yeah, during meditation, is it possible to feel like you are in 2 dimensions? You're here, but you're there quickly. I think so, Gloria. I absolutely think so. Absolutely. And sometimes what's going on in the external will play into, like if you hear a noise or a sound or whatever, and you're in meditation, you're in a deep dream state, you can incorporate that and you'll work that into your dreams. But it is possible to know that the higher self is in what we might consider a dimension, even though it's present and now. And our physical 3D self is very clearly here now. So it's everything all at once happening now. Yeah, that's what's going on. Yeah, you're welcome, Chad. You're welcome. Yeah, it's a mind bender to think of yourself in multiple dimensions. So I wouldn't say that it's not even, I wouldn't give 2 as the limiting number for the dimensions that you can be in. There are parts of yourself, there is soul family, soul tribe, that are pieces of yourself that you can run into in the 3D in this world. But there are also parts of yourself that are happening in other realms as well. So yeah, that's what I'm getting for that. So, okay. All right. I think that's what I've got. Is there anything else we've got going for today or any other questions? I don't think there's anybody on the list that I've missed. So if there's nobody that I've missed, then I think probably what I'll do is a collective, and then we'll let it go. If that's good with you guys. I think that's what we're at the stage where the collective needs to happen. So let's do a collective reading. We're wanting to go to the star again. This is really a prevalent one. The star tarot is something that is wanting to speak a little louder. Not sure why. And this is one that I love to go to when the ancestors want to come through. Sometimes I've gone to this one. Let's see what's going on with this. And this one has a great guidebook, by the way, guys. A lot of symbology, really well explained, thick guidebook. Intense and dense and text thick guidebook. It's a great one. So what do we need to know from the Star Tarot? Wow, 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 wow. Okay, I'm gonna angle this down. Angle this down again too. Let's slide this over. Okay, so what we're getting here, move this one, this was the last card. This was first. The Four of Cups, we've sat in it long enough. We've sat and brewed and stewed and been bored and been apathetic. All of this that we've had, all of these meanings of the four. This is like a little bit of navel gazing is necessary. Sometimes we get stuck in the navel gazing space where we're just looking within, looking within, looking within, where we've got a little bit mad what's going on around or happening to us. When that time is done, we need to get the cup, the bigger cup, and offer again. Two of Cups. This is us going out and offering to other partners, to our role in the world, our role that we want to bring forward. We have to bring forward our own cup, and it will be met. Now, this is important. The "it will be met" is coming through really, really strongly. It will be gifted unto us to have those drawn to us when we make the offering this big. We have to be ready to step off of the pity party or step off of the focus where it's been before and focus on what it is that's big that we're offering. This is huge for us. When we do this, it will be met, it will be met. Much like the Fool in the universe has the Fool and will catch the Fool, but not until he leaps does he know this. We have the Empress here, hugely abundant. This big mama energy, this big divine feminine energy coming in. She knows her role in the realm. She's super receptive. She is very, very fertile, very, very ready for whatever needs to grow and expand. She is really, really ready and well nourished at this time. This time has not been from nothing, but there has been nourishment and regaining. This deck is so full of the lotus flowers that come up from the mud and bloom anyway. This is like the nourishment has been there. It's been a long time coming. This is something that you cannot rush the process of, but it is the time. The time has arrived for this offering to happen in the next 2 months. In particular, I'm going back to the Two of Cups. I'm getting this earth time, 2 months, earth time. There's something changing, something shifting in the energy. We need to offer love in every way possible. This is where I get a little bit more love and light and sugary than people sometimes like. But this is what it is. It's like if you can offer your higher self, if you can elevate the conversation, if you can elevate the energy around you, then why wouldn't you do so? This is what it is. It's offering the gift in the way of the teacher and showing up by way of the student. It's seeing somebody else's perspective, somebody else's experience as valuable, but also allowing them to have that time and then sharing what you can with them. It's not just telling, talking. It's also listening, and allowing them to have the same access. Allowing them access to something. Maybe it's just a reference like, hey, heard this great book. You don't have to cover it front to back and tell them. Just, hey, or hey, I thought you could use this, and you're bringing over maybe a plant, maybe a book, maybe a cup of soup. I don't know. You're bringing something to them, and that's wisdom enough. It's an established way of sharing that comes through. And this is when I call this guy the bouncer at the club. He moves the rope aside and says, you're welcome here, you're welcome here. This welcoming energy that needs to come, this receptive energy needs to come. The Empress with the teacher is a different thing. It's not setting up structure. It's the Empress, it's receptivity you're setting up, allowing the divine feminine to be birthed through a little bit more. And then the Fool. This is where you trust the universe has this. This is where you're overcoming. This has more Thoth imagery than Rider-Waite, and I tend to prefer the Rider-Waite. The subconscious wants to offer a thing. The cosmic wants to offer a thing. But the divine feminine intuition and the divine intuition that is your higher self wants to come through. Now, everybody has masculine. Everybody has feminine in them. The feminine I'm referencing is the divine feminine goddesses, the ones that are more receptive. They aren't the do, push. They're the open up. You're welcome here. Come in here. If you want to learn, come. This is where we share. This is where we allow things through. What else about the Fool's Jump? There is a generation coming in right now, this new generation coming in. There is a lot going on with them that's a really different thing. The generation that is here already and the generation that is coming through, as in coming through this year, fresh, hot off the press. These that have taken the leap. These that are the babies now, super gifted. What will we need to be able to share with them? What will they share with us? They'll teach us an easy access point, easy access route, easy way of learning something new, something fresh. We need to be open to this, ready, and welcoming them in. Queen of Wands, receptive and approachable is what we need to be. We'll share some wisdom and they'll share something that's very, very fierce, very dynamic, and highly charged and illuminated. These guys will being into things so quickly. They're going to be a little bit of, you know, you hear the term starseeds, blah, blah, blah. These guys are trippy of the trippies. They're very trippy. And so whatever your gifts are that you're cracking open, starting to crack open now, they'll be like, oh yeah, blah, 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 blah. There's a huge amount of that coming through. So make way for this to be birthed within you, and make way for the generation being birthed now, because they are really coming in, and almost every damn one of them has a teacher's mandate on them somewhere. And so they will be the teachers of us in time. They have that mandate on them. They have this where they're going to teach us how to move forward. They are showing us how to evolve in a way of love, very, very differently than what's happened in the past. So that's what I've got. That's complete. Wow, that is gorgeous. Holy cow. Love it, love it, love it. All right, guys, that's what I've got for today. So I'm going to say bye for now.